After every season, I hear the same thing. Man, I wish I'd prepared better. Lack of preparation probably leaves more tags unfilled than poor shooting ever will. Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to dive into 3 elk season preparations that can make or break your hunt, from mapping tech failures to motor vehicle nightmares. This isn't the glamorous stuff people brag about and post on Instagram, but it's the work that decides whether you notch a tag or you go home empty-handed. These are the details that separate the 6% who punch tags from the 94% who don't. Let's get to it. 3 elk season preparations for the win. Number 1, choose and use 2 hunt applications. Running 2 hunt applications is non-negotiable on every Western hunt that I do. No exceptions. I always have a primary app and a secondary backup, fully downloaded, fully functional, fully tested, before I hit the trail. I choose my primary application based on the type and the style of the hunt that I'm doing. Some hunt apps are simply better in some areas, states, and certain terrain types. I constantly talk about using the right tool for the right job. Why 2? Because tech fails. Even the most reliable hunt applications have failed me, unfortunately, many more times than they should. I've had it all happen, and unfortunately, more than once. I've had app crashing problems, corrupt downloads, base map visibility issues, overlay failures, missing features. You name it, I've probably seen it. As Western hunters, we have become incredibly dependent on our hunt application. If you're leveraging the success of your hunt on a single hunt application, you're asking for trouble. We only get so much time in the backcountry. I don't want it derailed because of some quirky hunt application failure. If it hasn't happened to you yet, count yourself lucky. It's only a matter of time. Finally, you need to fully test and vet your offline downloads and feature functions on both applications. Put your phone in airplane mode and navigate to your hunt area. Verify the functionality of all the base map layers and the overlays that you plan on using on your hunt. I developed my entire hunt plan in my primary hunt application. What exactly does that mean? That means all of my hunt area polygons, pressure zones, access points, elk finding features, icons, priority colors, and key planning notes are kept and organized in my primary hunt application as I work through the hunt planning process. I keep all of my hunt planning data for each hunt in separate folders. This makes the data transfer process seamless and much less messy. Once I'm done or very close to being done with my hunt planning process, I will export the folder and import all of my hunt planning data into my secondary backup application. Remember, all that data is going to revert back to the default color and the default icons once it's exported and imported, which is fine for a secondary backup. I do not go back into my secondary hunt application and try to update icons and colors. I leave them in the default format. I can't count the number of messages I get from guys after the hunting season. My maps didn't load correctly, or they had some kind of base map issue. This simply cannot be a September problem. Assumption is the first step of hunt failure. Number 2, develop a visual priority hunt planning system. What I'm talking about here is developing a custom markup style or visual priority system that helps you bring visual clarity to all those hunt planning data points, routes, and areas. Once you adopt a legend-style markup approach, it will begin to tie all of your hunt planning work together and provide you with a usable and consistent visual structure that works for you, not against you. I know it sounds nerdy, but creating a visual priority system is a total game changer when it comes to hunt planning. I can't tell you how many screens I've looked at, even from very skilled Western hunters, and it's just chaos. A sea of default icons and random colors. No rhyme, no reason, no method to the madness. Does this sound familiar to any of you? You zoom in and think, what was I trying to mark here? And what was I thinking when I dropped that pin? Do you ever have those thoughts? This markup style approach will also allow you to identify trends and feature clusters. It will dramatically improve your efficiency and effectiveness while on the hunt itself. Why a custom markup approach matters. First, a systematic approach. The longer you're in the game and the more data points you accumulate, the more important this tactic becomes. Your hunt plan will start to visually speak to you. Things will begin to pop out. A sea of random default icons does not speak to you. Second, color separation. Using both pre-hunt and on-the-hunt color separations is incredibly valuable during the post-hunt evaluation process. The instant icon and color recognition keeps you more effective and efficient on your hunt. For example, you're not constantly clicking on default colored icons to find out what you were thinking. Does that also sound familiar? Third, improved organization. Over time, your hunt applications get cluttered, very cluttered. A legend-based system allows you to revisit, update, and delete those default waypoints. Most hunt applications also give you the ability to turn on and off areas or polygons. I use the Hunt Area tool to color code and systematically name all of my individual hunt areas by species. Using the area or polygon feature gives you the ability to toggle them on and off as you need to view or hide them. I set my hunt areas up this way. I use the color purple for elk hunt areas, and I use blue for mule deer hunt areas, and I use yellow for bear hunt areas. This is a very simple function, but it makes a big visual impact. This level of custom markup might sound a little overkill to some of you, and maybe it is, but I want to give myself every advantage on every hunt. I have found this to be incredibly valuable to me, and it makes it easy to come back and revisit hunt areas that you might not use, but you may want to use on a future hunt. Number 3, motor vehicle analysis, 4 key steps. When it comes to Western hunting, is there anything worse than thinking a road is closed to motor vehicles only to find out it's open? Or possibly even worse, driving hours only to hit a locked gate on a road that you thought was open? Motor vehicle analysis isn't optional. It's a mission-critical component to Western hunt planning. The kicker is, most of the hunt applications are good, some are better than others, but none of them are perfect, and we need perfect. The hunt applications are limited by the quality of digital data that they get. Frankly, some national forests are better than others, some are getting better, and some are completely pathetic. The Bureau of Land Management, BLM lands, are typically a hot mess when it comes to vehicle travel management plans. We could spend a lot of time on this process. This is a huge part of my Treeline Academy e-scouting elk course. In the course, I go deep. Today is the short version that you can put to work right now for this season. When it comes to motor vehicle pressure evaluation, I break it down into 4 principal steps that I work through in a very specific sequence. Step 1, initial hunt platform review. The first step as you're working through a hunt area is just to make some general motor vehicle use observations. You will want to have all the roads and trail layers in your various hunt applications activated. This is the early stages of the zones of pressure evaluation process that I talk about in my e-scouting elk course. At this point, we are just looking for an overview of the pressure as we decide if this hunt area is worth moving on in the selection process. Honestly, most Western hunters stop here at step 1 and they call it good. Good does not always fill tags. Step 2, hunt platform and Treeline toolkit comparison. My second phase of the motor vehicle evaluation process is cross-checking my hunt application platforms to the road and trail layers in my Google Earth Treeline toolkits. I'm looking for contradictions. I'm also focused on seasonal closure issues. I have found several errors and omissions over the years during this cross-examination process. Once a hunt area shows real promise and I feel like it's going to be included as one of my hunt plan options, I will move on to steps 3 and 4. But I don't waste my time on these last 2 steps until I'm very confident in a hunt area. Step 3, the validation process. Once I've become more invested in a particular hunt area, I will begin to validate the motor vehicle use, meaning I want to 100% confirm that the roads I think are open and closed actually are. I want to further evaluate and test any seasonal closures and vehicle type restrictions. In this step, I utilize the CalTopo platform. This is a free site that is a literal goldmine for serious Western hunters. Most people don't even know it exists, and even more don't fully comprehend the real power and value of this site. CalTopo offers a lot to Western hunters, but today we're going to stay focused on the incredibly advanced motor vehicle evaluation features. To start, zoom in on your hunt area or copy and paste the coordinates from your hunt application and paste them into the search window in CalTopo. Activate the motor vehicle layer in CalTopo and make sure all the roads match up to the roads in your hunt application. I want to point out something here. I have this same layer integrated into my Google Earth Pro toolkits. You can activate that layer in here in the Treeline Base Map Layers folder. Okay, here we are back in CalTopo. I like to be in one of the topography base map layers for this level of motor vehicle evaluation. In this example, I'm going to use the FS Topo 2016 version. Once again, I also have this topography map layer option available in my Treeline base map folder. Next, you want to select Stack Map Sheets with the plus symbol. The drop-down box will only show you the shared motor vehicle use maps for the area that you have visible on the screen. This is a great feature that cuts down all of the clutter. Select the map that covers your hunt area. You may have to select multiple maps until you find the right one. Important, you must drag the transparency up from 0 For some reason, 0 is the default in CalTopo. CalTopo has incorporated the actual geotagged National Forest PDF travel management maps. This geotagging feature allows CalTopo to exactly and precisely overlay the PDF onto your base map of choice. This is an incredibly valuable tool, and probably a tool many of you did not know existed until now. You can now turn on and off and adjust the transparency of this PDF layer to compare and validate. You're looking for roads that are not color-coded and not accounted for properly in your hunt applications. Basically, you're looking for any and all discrepancies. Zooming out on the PDF will give you access to the road legend and the seasonal closure chart that can also be cross-verified against your hunt application. It is important that you take note of the motor vehicle use map date on the corner of the PDF. You will need that date coming up in Step 4. Step 4, U.S. Forest Service Final Verification. The last step in the verification process is the final check of the motor vehicle publication date. You want to make sure you are evaluating the most recently updated travel management map. To do this, you need to access the latest National Forest Travel Management PDF. I've included a link in the eScouting Elk course to every National Forest motor vehicle use map in every state. That link is available to you in the course. We are now looking at that page. Most of the time, CalTopo is correct. I have found several cases where the newest map available on the Forest Service website has not yet made it to CalTopo deployment. Once we navigate to the state and the correct National Forest map, you can see the published date for this map is 2020. I realize this is a process, but like Cody and I talked about in a previous Thrive episode, you have to take control of the things you can control so that you're in a better position to handle the things you can't. Motor vehicle analysis is something you can control, and it can be a real hunt saver. These elk hunt preparation steps, they're not flashy, but they could end up being the foundation of a successful backcountry hunt. The hunters who do the work, they're the ones consistently punching tags season after season. The ones who don't, they're winging it, burning up boot leather on what turns into be a glorified camping trip, and then they end up heading home early with excuses instead of success. The line between excuses and success is razor thin, and it's elusive. Control the controllables and keep yourself in position for success. I'll see you next time.